you've ever stopped for coffee at the Tim Hortons on 50th Avenue and 39th Street in Lloydminster, you might have hit some traffic. During peak hours, the drive-thru sometimes gets backed up onto the street, blocking traffic. As Peter Quinlan explains, drivers aren't the only ones who are frustrated.
If you've ever been to this Tim Hortons, you might have hit some traffic on the way in.
Drive-through traffic in this parking lot is pretty ridiculous. I've seen it congested all the way up to the road, and it blocks traffic for the other store owners, and it's always causing problems.
The healthy fast food restaurant is creating a backlog of cars that extends into the parking lot through the entrance of the shopping center and onto 39th Street. After years of dealing with this problem, Barry Newman is fed up.
There's traffic backed all the way up in here, and they couldn't get out. No one would move for them, and I got frustrated. I got stressed out because I seen these people wanting to get out, and no one would let them out.
Newman has been out for the last 2 days and says it's all about respect.
It's respect, right? That's what it boils down to. That's what I'm asking for this business, for that business, for that business, for all the businesses that get affected by this lane traffic. Because the only one benefiting from this lane traffic is Tim Hortons.
The city of Lloydminster said the problem is an enforcement issue that's dealt with by the RCMP. They did say that during the time of development in the late 1990s, they weren't able to predict how busy it would be.
So at the time, I think that it was built, traffic flow at Tim Hortons was quite different than it is now.
During peak times, traffic along 39th Street will sometimes even slow to a stop because of this drive-through. Tim Hortons says they are working quickly to keep the cars moving, but some say it's not fast enough.
It's hard to get out of here. Like if you come in here at lunchtime, you're sitting 20 minutes trying to get out. And I've been in that position 2 or 3 different times, and there's nothing you can do. Nobody gives you any room, nobody looks, nobody takes into effect that anything is trying to get out.
The lineup of cars can sometimes completely block off access to Tasty K's restaurant. While staff do admit it's a problem, some of their clients have ideas for a solution.
The drive-through should come straight from that side, straight through, not around the corner.
Okay. Whether it means they barricade their own parking lot and have their own entrance and exit on the side street or whatever, or build a corral out this way so it stays in their parking lot rather. You know, I'm not a civil engineer. I don't know the best solution, but there's got to be a better solution.
And until a solution is found, Newman says he will stand here every day until something changes.
I was so disgusted with the way people were handling it that I actually lost my appetite. And that's when I knew something had to be done. Because look at me. A guy like this don't lose his appetite for no reason at all. There's something bothering him if he's not hungry.
Peter Quinlan, Newcap News.
Avery Outreach School doesn't only help students in need, but the environment as well. In this week's Green Living, Mike Baden explains how the school has a recycling program that keeps things clean and contributes towards much-needed funding for the school.
Every day, the students chip in by collecting and sorting different types of cardboard and paper products.
We make sure that the materials are out on the curb the night before so that they can be picked up.
Avery School gives kids a chance to get extra credits and graduate with a high school diploma when it didn't seem possible. But they also teach students ways to keep the earth clean.
Foremost, I think it's important that we're setting an example for our students and getting them involved so that hopefully it will be something that will carry on into their lives at home.
The Avery Outreach program uses a lot more paper than a conventional high school because of their unique teaching style.
We run a correspondence type program mostly, so there's a lot of material that, you know, it's assignments that are mostly paper.
All beverage containers are collected and brought to the bottle depot, and the money raised is used to help out in the kitchen.
We use the money that comes from recycling those containers in our lunch program. That's basically a good source of funding for us, right?
Mike Baden, Newcap News.
This feature brought to you by Lakeland College Environmental Sciences. Prepare for your green career by completing one of the college's 6 environmental sciences programs. Lakeland College, live the learning.
Thank you, Gerard. There are some important deadlines for farmers coming up in the next week. Monday is the last day for farmers to sign up their grain for the A-Series contract, as well as the Grain Flow program. In this week's crop report, Peter Quinlan shows us which options are available for farmers.
Now that harvest has ended, most farmers must make decisions about what to do with their grain. Farmers who want to sign a delivery contract with the Canadian Wheat Board must do so by Monday.
October 31st is the deadline for the A-Series contract to sign up. Also, it will be the deadline for grain flow also. Grain flow hasn't quite filled up. They've switched some tons over to One Red low protein, which has been one of the most popular programs for sign up.
In addition, the board has launched some guaranteed delivery contracts for CPS White and Canada Feed Wheat.
These have both been launched in the last few days here, and deadlines for them will be sometime in November here.
Usually over 95% of wheat gets signed up on the A-Series. Szczepanski suggests that farmers who want to get rid of their crop as soon as possible should sign up now.
This year, with the pending changes, we may not have the B and the C series. So my suggestion is if they want to move it this year, then it's best to sign it up on the A series. All of the pricing options are available until March 15th.
Once a decision is made on the future of the Canadian Wheat Board, a B and C series may be introduced. However, there are other options being considered.
We'll see what percentage is signed up, and if we have more room for grain later on in the crop year, then we'll probably end up coming out with GDCs in replacement for the B and C series.
With the uncertainty over the future of these delivery contracts, Szczepanski says there are many advantages for farmers who choose the A series for sale of their wheat.
Well, they get quick movement. Right now, 50% of the contract has been called already, so they can deliver upwards of 50% right now. The other one, the grain flow program, they can deliver all of it after December 15th.
With such a high quality harvest this year, farmers should check their storage bins to be sure their grain is cooling sufficiently and doesn't spoil.
And it's probably best to take one load out of each one of the bins just to see how the bins are keeping. Once more, I'm hearing the odd report of some grain that is heating. Not very many reports, but there is some. A lot of that grain came off at 30-some degrees, and right now most of it is cooling off, but they want to get it cooled off as quick as possible.
A pool return outlook came out this afternoon giving a prediction on crop prices for the year. Farmers can find detailed information about these projections by visiting www.cwb.ca. Peter Quinlan, Newcap News.